think he saw it, though, because I think the film was finished and he saw it.
Right.
Matthew, yeah, he did see it. I love chips. I'll tell you a story about chips.
Please.
There's a lot of drinking going on, right? And so I got a lot of non-alcoholic beer. So the very first day we go, and I'm doing this scene in the pub where he's with the kid. He's with the school teacher in the pub. And he gets a pint and he drinks the whole pint down. He watches him drink that. And then we order another one. So anyway, so I said, okay, we rehearsed it. Then we started action. What's this, Ted? Cut. What's the problem? This is not real beer. I said, yeah, it's not alcoholic. No, I don't drink non-alcoholic beer. Sorry, I got a real beer to act. I said, being reasonable and sensible, Chips, in this one shot, that first take, you're going to be drinking 2 pints of beer. And we're supposing I do 5 takes. On this one shot, you may drink 10 pints of beer. And it'll only be 9:30 in the morning. And I said, you drink practically every shot in this film you drink. And he said, I don't care, Ted, you look after the directing, and I will look after the drinking. Thank you. I want real beer, okay? All right, Chips. And he drank real beer through the whole film.
Wow.
Never once was he even the slightest bit tipsy, or certainly not inebriated, and never once did he ever slur a word or anything like that as a result of the drinking. It was absolutely amazing.
Wow.
All the rest of the actors drank non-alcoholic. Okay, here's what happened. I don't think there's a film that's worth the fingernail on your little baby finger. And I certainly would never kill an animal for a film. I mean, that's unspeakable. I mean, that I don't eat meat. So, anyway, at any rate, so the idea of killing an animal for a film just filled me with horror. And I must admit that when I read the script, I was really perplexed. And oh my God, how am I going to do this sequence? Because there was no such thing as at that time as CGI, where you can. And I certainly did certain tricks. I had up my sleeve, which I did, which was I'd have a close-up of the kangaroo, right? And I'd go like this with the lens, poof, right into his face. And I'd say to the kangaroo, jump, and the kangaroo would jump. And they're amazingly smart creatures, by the way. Very anthropomorphic. They're like human beings with animal heads on. Anyway, and so it looked like it was wherever the things. It looked like when I zoomed in, it was a bullet that hit him, and he fell out of the frame. So I did tricks like that, and not killing the animal. But still, there were going to be lots of massacres of deer, of the kangaroos. And so I was a bit, as I say, bemused. And one of the the Australian crew members came to me and said, they knew about my situation and my concern. He said, Ted, they kill hundreds of kangaroos in the outback every night. I said, what? He said, yeah, it's not known by people in the cities there. But he said, I said, well, why? Why are they killing them? He said, wow, it's a big industry because they, first of all, the pelts, they skin the animals. The pelts are extremely valuable. All those cuddly toys you give your kids at Christmas are made with kangaroo pelts. They get a lot of money for those. And then the carcasses are sent to put in refrigerator trucks, and they're shipped off to America for pet food. For a cat. I said, you mean American cats and dogs are fed on kangaroo meat? He says, yeah, that's right. So I said, why don't you try and see if you can get on the back of a truck through the hunters, professional hunters. So I went out the outback, And what happens is they have a big refrigerator truck, and then 6 pairs of hunters. They all go off in different directions. And they go out and they kill 25, 30 kangaroos. And they go out and stake trucks. And they do exactly the same as we did in the film. They have a spotlight which freezes the animal, which they control from inside the cab. And they have a retractable windshield, where they rest their guns. They rest their guns on the dashboard, and the animal's frozen, and they shoot it, kill it. So I approached the refrigerator truck and asked a pair of guys would they let me. I'm shooting making a documentary film.
Documentary
about kangaroos. So they said, "Sure, man, sure." Like a pair of these guys absolutely said, "Go ahead, get on board." So I got on board. I had my cameraman. I had my operator with me, and the producer was with me. Very upper class kind of Englishman, Norwegian. His wife was a Norwegian aristocracy. And anyway, so we went up, and of course, they're shooting, one kangaroo after another. And I mean, I was filming it all. After about 2 or 3 kangaroos, my producer, you won't believe it, he fainted. Wow. I had to go back and dump him at the refrigerator truck and back out again.
Right.
And at one point, actually, they killed about half a dozen kangaroos. And what they do is that once they shoot them, they skin them, they cut their heads off and skin them. Remember, I had a shot in the show, in the film, of a pile of kangaroo heads? That was what they had done.
Right, okay.
So they skin them, then they hang them on big hooks, butcher's hooks, on the side of the steak truck. And so they go all around the U of the truck, right?
Yeah.
And they go back when it's all filled up. They go back. So at one point, after they killed 15. They said, "Ted, where would you like us to shoot them?" I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "Well, we can shoot them in the kidneys. We can shoot them in the heart. We can shoot them in the brain." I said, "Well, what's the difference?" He said, "Shoot them in the kidneys, they die immediately, pop, right on the spot. You shoot them in the brain, they do one most incredible leap into the air, and then they die. Shoot them in the heart, they take 3 hops, and then they die." I said, "Boys, listen, I don't want you doing anything for me. Nothing for me. Just get on with your work. Just ignore me. Pretend I do not exist." And then, 2 o'clock in the morning, they started to miss. When I say miss, they wounded the animal. Hit him in the chest somewhere, and he's bleeding. And he hops away, and then we had to chase the animal to put him out of his misery, and kill him, and then skin him. And Jesus, man, these guys were so good. I leaned over the edge and I looked down, and it was pretty cool that night. Back, and these guys were drinking whiskey.
Ah, right.
And everything to this, And I got to tell you, this picture was made under the auspices of the Australian Royal Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. And they said, "Ted, you've got to use this because the footage after 2 o'clock, Matthew, was totally unusable." Wow. I said, no. I said, the audience, it's bad enough the audience is going to have to put up with what they're going to have to see. If they saw what we had shot after 2 o'clock, I said, they'll go running, screaming out of the cinema. They will not stay there. It was so horrendous, Matthew. So, I mean, I remember there was one shot where the animal was lying like this, and blood was spurting out of its nose into the air. It was horrific. It was just nightmarish.
Yeah.
And so that's how we got to the art. I said to the RSPCA, "Do you know one thing should be put in your paper?" They phoned me about 20 years ago, because it was 1971, 1981, 1991, yeah, somewhere around 1991. They phoned me, and they said, "Ted," he said, "as a result of your film And he said, and that other film that you gave us that you didn't use, he said the government has banned the killing of kangaroos for the American pet food industry.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I tell you, I think it's one of my best films. Nancy, no question about it. I think one of my 2 or 3 best films. I think there's The Apprenticeship of Lenny Kravitz, also a Cannes classic.
Yeah.
Apprenticeship of Lenny Kravitz, I did in Canada with Richard Dreyfuss. And I think, of course, there's First Blood.
Yeah.
The first Rambo film with Sylvester Stallone. I mean, I think those are the 2 or 3. But I think, you're always, in a film, Matthew, you're always aiming for 100. And you're lucky. I always say to myself, well, then not bad. You got 91 in this one. Or 85. 85, what you set out, the intentions you set out with. But I feel I came closer to getting 100 on Wake in Fright. First of all, one thing I did, which was I'm very proud of, was a great attention to detail. As you know, it's so uncomfortable, the dust and the flies and the sweat and the heat. So I wanted to get all that. First of all, the dirt is very distinctive. It's that red earth,
Mm.
And what I did was I got a barrel full of talcum powder, kind of. I don't know whether it was earth or talcum powder, but it was the same color as the outback earth. And I got one of those fly squatters, you squirt, and I put some of this red, before every take, I put some of this, and I'd spray the inside of the set, wherever I was, so there was dust hanging in the air, and there was a fine coating of dust, if you look carefully over everything that you could see. So that was that detail. Then the flies, I got sterilized flies brought in from the University of Sydney. And I would release, just before the take, I'd release the flies into the set.
Yeah.
And if you notice, especially I noticed it in Doc Titan's house, there's flies on the table, and there's flies on the book over here. They were not meant to be noticed directly, but it was a kind of subconscious affecting you. And once or twice, there was one shot where one of the actors, I forgot, there's an eye right in the corner, flying up right in the corner. And I used to, when I was shooting out in the outback, the reason I got all this was I'm talking all the time when I'm on set. There's so many flies out there, and the fly would go down my throat. Shit! So I used to say, hey, it's a good day. It's a good day today. At the end of the day, I only swallowed 6 flies. Yesterday was 10. So I had all sorts of attention to detail like that: dust, the flies, the sweat, the heat. I'm trying. Also, the other thing I didn't do, forgot, is I got the set designer, very good Australian production designer. Name I can't recall. I got the costume and the props people, and I said to them, I don't want any cool colors in my film.
Mm.
I never ever want to see a blue or a green. I only want to see red, yellow, brown, and burnt sienna. If you notice, like the hotel room has got a wonderful kind of. It looks like the inside of an oven. It's so the wonderful red, and so all those colors. So, but they affect you because
Mm.
So I think all these things added up. And made me. I was very proud of the picture at the end. I achieved all what I wanted to make it feel unbearable.
Mm.
I had one of my very good friends, a couple of very good friends of mine in England, when I first screened it, they said, Ted, we saw your film, we went straight home and had a shower.
Felt like they were covered in red dirt.
Great. I wanted you to feel these terrible, inhospitable circumstances in which these people live and work with such fortitude. I admire them for it.
Mm.
Anyway, so I think that all in all, I think, and I just think the film worked totally, from every other point of view as well, for story and dialogue and characters, the rest of things.
Mm.
But the think all the accumulation of pictorial details, after all, films are a pictorial medium.